Veganizing popcorn chicken.
Hey you guys, I'm gonna show you all how to make my popcorn chicken, vegan popcorn chicken. As you can see, I don't have that much stuff on the table because it's not really much needed, but you want to make sure that everything is heavily seasoned. So here I have roughly about 2.5 cups of vital wheat gluten, and to it I'm gonna add some pink salt, some garlic powder, and just some regular like chicken seasoning. So it doesn't have actual chicken in it, it's just seasoning that you would put on chicken. So you want to make sure that that's heavily seasoned. Also, I'm going to add my favorite thing, some nutritional yeast. Woo. Just combine everything. And in the previous video that I actually made where I showed you all the vegan deli meat, it's pretty much the same, only I'm not adding tofu. And you want to make sure the bowl that you are working with is dry, otherwise the vital wheat gluten is going to stick to it, and it's going to kind of be like a thin stretchy substance. Okay, so I have here 1 cup of water. You can use chicken stock if you want. Not chicken stock, I'm sorry, veggie stock. Okay. So because of how it's looking, I'm going to add a little bit more water. Water out of my little fountain over here. And I'm going to put that in there. Make sure I stir it up. Okay, so now all you gotta do now is take and pour it on your table. Smell like chicken noodle soup, like the ramen chicken noodles, don't it? Smell just like it. You want to knead this the seitan or seitan. That's how you pronounce it. Oh God, it really does smell good. Man, it's gonna seem like tough, but that's not a bad thing because you want it to be tough. So I'm gonna finish kneading this as much as I can, and I'll see you guys in a minute. So now that I got, I kneaded it just a little bit. Now what you want to do is actually a stress relieving thing. You want to kind of pound it. I usually pound it on one side, turn it over, and then pound it on the other side. It's to help it make it a little bit more tough. Not like tough to the point where it's hard to chew, but it helps get that chicken feel, like you eating real chicken. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is just take off small pieces. If you have scissors, then you good to go. But I don't have scissors. No, I have scissors, but not the kind I want to put on my food. So I'm taking them off little by little, and you want to make them pieces about like this. Now you can make them a bit smaller if you want, because it's going to expand once it hits the water. I already have a pot of water boiling, so that's the first thing you want to do when you are making this. You want to put the water on first if you're going to be boiling anything. So I'm going to finish breaking these up, and I'll be right back with the next step. We have the little pieces. We made them about this big. Now keep in mind that you want to make sure you do them as small as you want it. Like if you want them to be a certain size, make sure you make them half the size that you actually want them to be, because once they hit the water and they boil, it's going to double in size. Okay, so I have my water boiling right here and I added some pink Himalayan salt, and you want to drop these things in here one at a time. Put that one again. You don't have to make it as tough as mine is. I just like that bite. You can add more liquid, you know, if you want. Okay, so I'm gonna finish putting these in here. Be careful not to splash yourself too, because I have a high tolerance for pain, but don't mean I like it. So be careful not to drop them in to the point where it's splashing you with hot boiling water. So I will see you guys in a minute. Stay tuned so I can show you my next step. See, I have my little vegan nuggets in here. Let me get something to show you guys how wash my spatula. Show you guys what it looked like in the water. Now you want to make sure that you start timing. You want to leave this on for about 30 minutes, and you start timing as soon as it starts to boil, which means I'm going to be leaving this on until about 2:30. See? This is what they look like. Okay, so you want to let that boil for about 30 minutes. You can also use veggie broth or something like that to boil these in, and then just so it won't go to waste, you can actually use it to make like a gravy or something. This pot right here, I have 4 cups of water because I'm going to be making quinoa. And with quinoa, it's a 2-to-1 ratio. So you have to use 2 cups of water to 1 cup of quinoa. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to make my quinoa. And in the meantime, I'm going to show you guys the sauce that I'm going to make to go with my vegan chicken. Popcorn, y'all. So now I'm going to show y'all how I make a sauce. This right here is just something off the top of my head. I found some tofuti better than cream cheese, so I'm going to take some of this. I'm going to be showing you 2 different sauces. So I'm going to take this and put this in my magic bullet. So that's about half of the container that I put in. Oops. And this is just going to be for dunking my my little popcorn chickens in, or you know, drizzling it over that in my quinoa. This is some homemade teriyaki sauce that I made, and yes, I will be giving you guys this recipe. So I'm gonna have that video sometime between the 1st and 2nd week of September. So I'm going to put some of this in. As you can see, it's pretty thick. So I'll put that in there. Oh Lord, this smells good. And because I like a little bit of heat, I'm going to put in my sriracha sauce. Just a little. And to help everything, I'm going to take a little hot water, just a little bit, from my fountain and toss it in there. And then do everything from up out of there. Just pour it in there. You can make it a little thicker if you want. That's up to you. But if you want to make it a little thicker, then you can put a little bit of tapioca flour on it, and then in it, and then put it over the heat for a few minutes so it can thicken. So there's the first sauce. Let me taste this thing. Oh, that's awesome. Now we're gonna move on to our second sauce, and all this is the second half of the tofu tea. Better than cream cheese. It's the other half. Ooh, get down in there. We're starting to get a little soft. Okay. It's all gone. I'm gonna reuse that bowl, honey. Okay, so now we move on to my favorite thing. I love my nutritional yeast. And the nutritional yeast, I like to put a lot in here because it's just, I love it. So put a little of the nutritional yeast in there, and be prepared to sneeze because this stuff be going up your nose. So I put a little of that in there. And then I put some smoked paprika in there. It's two of my favorite things. Now I have actually did this recipe before with silken tofu. And then you take a little water, put it in there. That's less than half a cup, y'all. So you're gonna put that in there. And there you go. And it's so thick and creamy. You can put this on like a vegan mac and cheese. Because this nutritional yeast is what gives your food that cheesy flavor.
Smell like cheese too.
Oh, girl, it does.
Like a smoky flavor.
Ooh, let me try. Got my quinoa on. And we're going to come back as soon as that's done. And I'm going to show y'all how I'm going to put this together. So I'm done. This is done. And most people, when they finish cooking their seitan dishes, they usually drain the water out of it. But I don't drain the water out of mine. At least not, all the way. And in this case, I'm not going to drain it at all because I like that juicy chicken feel. Like when I don't drain it, it's like a juicy chicken. And word of advice, if you're gonna salt your water, don't put too much salt in it. because I almost overdid it just a little bit with this one. So I'm going to take all this out. I got my almond flour, and I got my oven preheated to 350 because I'm going to put this back in the oven. I'm going to put this in the oven for about 15 minutes. I'm going to lightly coat it with almond flour while it's still wet. You don't have to do this, but I actually like that texture. So I'm going to put this in the oven. Got a few of them. I'm going to put a little bit of almond flour on this. And I did take my pan and I put some olive oil on the bottom of the pan. So I'm gonna put a little bit of this and then smear it around. You could make something to coat it, you know, to help it stick to it. Like you could take a little flaxseed meal and some water and help it stick. Oops. So I'll just give it a toss. And then I'm gonna stick this whole pan in the oven for about 10 to 15 minutes. That's just my preference. And if you want crispy, you can get you some oil or something and, you know, coat it heavily and fry it. Or you can use an air fryer. I got my oven preheated to 350. Let that sit in there. Now, I'm gonna try this and we're gonna check out the quinoa. Okay, let me get this. Okay, so quinoa is nice and fluffy. I put some seasoning in here too. You can season it any way you like it. And put you some vegan butter in it, like, you know, some earth balance or something. So I got that all nice and cooked. And now we plate once the chicken gets done. It's the finished product. On this side is the vegan cheesy sauce that I made with the nutritional yeast and the better than cream cheese. And this is the vegan sauce I made with the better than cream cheese and the teriyaki sauce. And as I said, I will definitely be showing you guys that recipe in another video somewhere between the 1st and 2nd week of September. But this is the finished product. You can add some parsley on top just to give it a little color or whatever. You know, fix it up however you want to. And this is it. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. I hope y'all give these recipes a try, and if you do, let me know what you think about it. You can follow me on Instagram at Homeschool Royalty. You'll see all my pictures of the food that I ever made. If you have any requests, just let me know in the comments. Thank y'all so much for your support. I love you. I love y'all to the moon and back. And you guys have a blessed day.
Popcorn chicken, veganization complete.
Thank y'all so much for watching, Kings and Queens. What will I veganize next? Join me for the next episode of Veganization to find out. Thank you so much for your support. I love y'all to the moon and back. And remember to eat the colors of the rainbow. Have a blessed day.